Okay, so our Olaf is coming together nicely, a little painful in some areas. Now we're working on Olaf's arm. And again, as you see, we have fun lighting issues, but I'm going to show you how to attach his arm right onto his body. This is a seamless Olaf. This one we didn't do in segments except for the feet. The feet were attached separately to the bottom segment of the body, but the bottom, the upper, and the head were all sewn on together. We're all stitched together up as you've seen throughout the tutorial, the pattern. Basically, we're going to decide where we want our arms to be and just go directly across from each other with the arms. I've already done this one. What we're going to do is stitch right in to where we've decided we're going to have the arm set. Make sure that that's even with your other arm, which is pretty close. It's going to be about probably 2 single crochet rows down from your neck, from Olaf's neck. And we're just going to go ahead and attach this up. We're going to join our yarn right into this area, the section that we've decided on, and then chain one just to kind of lock it into place for a bit while we get this all together. You can pull the other end, the tail, just to kind of hold it into place. But you are going to chain 14 from here. Which shouldn't be too hard, apparently for me. 1, 2. Oh! And look at there. I'm using the tail to chain. I'm going to get back in here. This is what the camera does for me. I know I say this a lot, and I'm sorry. These videos are pretty new for me, and so hopefully I'm probably driving everybody nuts with my videos, but it is just really hard with a camera in front of you to do any of this. So we're going to try this again with the right side of the string, 14. And these are supposed to be kind of stick-like branches, so, you know, make your chains pretty tight to that. Alright, once we have chained 14, we are going to single crochet into our second chain from the hook. So go into that second chain and single crochet 1. And in the next stitch we're going to do a slip stitch, and then we're going to do the same thing into the following stitch. We're going to do a slip stitch. And we have made our first finger. Then we're going to chain 4 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go into the second chain from the hook again with a single crochet. And we're going to repeat what we did in the last finger. We're going to slip stitch 1 in our next stitch, and slip stitch 2 in our next stitch from there. And we now have 2 fingers. We're going to have a total of 4 fingers, so you're going to repeat what we just did for the next 2. 1, 2, 3, up, 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 up. 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into that second chain from the hook. Slip into the next, oh, nope, slip, not a single, slip, and another slip into the next. And then we have one finger left to go. Get all of my stuff here in order, and we're going to chain 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Slip stitch into the next, and slip into the next. When we're done, we're going to have this row of fingers. You're going to bring this over to your very beginning, and you're going to do a slip stitch right into this stitch closest to your first finger that we made. Just do a slip stitch there. And we pulse our hand together there. And then you can do a couple more, or just, 1 or 2 more to just lock in, just some slip stitches to lock it into place. It'll all come together when you weave in your tail, so don't worry about it being a little bigger here. It'll just add to the character of it all. And then we're going to just finish it off. And of course, my tools are here, because I wanted to show you real quick, if I can get this together here. We're going to go ahead and clip that. You don't need a long tail here. That was way longer than I needed it to be. I'm just going to grab a needle here because I want to show you when you're finished, you have a little bit of a hole in there, and that's fine. But what you can do is just kind of, to hide your tail, just kind of go around inside of the stitches inside of that. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of blend in my ending here. You see that there's a little bit on the arm. It's a little wider because of where I slipped into those last 2 right here. So I'm just going to kind of stick that into that last and weave it upwards a little bit. I'm sorry, right out of the screen there. I'm just going to stick it right in the middle there and weave it up and in, down and into the stitches until I get up to where I can work that hole out of there if I want to. So I'm just kind of making it all blend in the best I can. It looks just fine. But then just kind of go around. There's these, go around your fingers in these little sections here. Just go around in those, and don't pull it too tight because it starts affecting the rest of your arm. But just pull it a little bit, enough to bring that circle together. And it will be just fine. And we'll just go down here and come back. You're just going to hide your tail. You know how to do that. That's just a good way of getting rid of that hole in there. A little bit. Not completely, but a little bit. And we've hidden it enough, but I'm just going to snip that off close to the hand, as close as possible, and then I'm left with this little tail here, in which I just take this tail, I wrap it around, and I tie it, kind of, and I tie it around in a knot just around the body of the arm, because that helps me to get rid of the look of where I attached it as well. I'll do that a couple of times. Just, I don't know if you could see what I'm doing here. I'm just wrapping it around the arm and then making a tie, like a little knot. Okay, and then once I've finished with that, I'll show you a neat way to hide this. You don't have to just clip it right up in the middle there. I'm going to hook our needle back in there. And what I'm going to do to hide the tail, okay, sorry about all that. That was definitely headache material there. I am just going to go in really, really, really close to all of this stitching, and I'm going to go in, and I'm going to pass through to the back of my Olaf. I'm going to pass right through there, and I've got my tail in the back of my Olaf. No, not really. I am going to pull up just a little bit of tension on that, cut it off as close as I can, and then just squish it a little bit, and it's as if it never existed at all. Perfect. So now our Olaf has 2 arms, 2 hands, and it's just missing its eyeballs, its mouth, its buttons, and then we will be done. We will be finished with our Olaf. So just follow the tutorial from here. You can just pretty much figure out its gluing or stitching, however you want to handle your embellishments, your buttons, your eyeballs and such. And we'll be back with a finished Olaf